Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's Miguel Talks Football. We're back again with another video. Today's video is going to be very interesting because we're going to get an Arsenal panel to discuss some of the hot topics flowing around Arsenal at this moment in time. And I need you guys to do me a big favor. Please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. And let me know if you like this discussion and what you guys would like us to discuss next on our Arsenal panel show. Now, we're going to talk about Arteta. And of course, we're going to talk about Henry's comments on Arsenal. We're going to also get into some of the topics that we need to discuss, such as, of course, Arsenal slapping PSV. And now what does that mean for the weekend when we play Manchester United? The Kroenkes have raised the ticket prices. And Ato versus Barton, who's going to get the director job? In addition to that, will Martinelli be sold for 35 million? How do you guys think that's going to go down with the Arsenal fan base right now? And finally, with Saka and Martinelli coming back, do we actually have a chance to win the Champions League? Or is that just dreamland at this point? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let's get the show started. Big up to everyone in the comment section. As you guys already know, like the video if you guys are here. And as always, time for the intro. Yes, people, what's going on? I got my boy Connor in the building. I got my boy Le African Gooner in the house, and we got a new face. Big up Tony Claude Gunners TV in the building. What you saying, bro? How's everyone doing?
All good, man. All good.
All right.
Doing great to go, man.
We're gonna have two more people joining us also. Hopefully we can get a Nigerian Englishman and Dayo joining us at some point. But first things first, guys, we slapped PSV. We absolutely slapped them 7-1. Did you guys, any of you guys see that coming?
No, not at all.
Never in a
Not a
million
slapping.
days.
Not a slapping.
Were you guys surprised as the world, or do you think that was destined to come if you're going to play open, expansive football against us?
I mean, who goes first? Connor, you can go first.
Yeah, no, I mean,
that's a great question.
I was surprised because on the basis of the fact that, I wasn't surprised because, do you know what it is? Like, I know we don't have a striker, but we've got players in this team that are able to score goals. Like, it is possible. Like, we were one of the highest scoring teams last season, not because we didn't have a striker, because we've got players that can score goals. It's just a factor of consistency. And yeah, look, I probably overestimated PSV. I expected them to be a lot harder, especially at home. If it was at our ground, I expected us to probably wipe the floor. But at their ground, I thought, you know what, it might be a bit tough. Their fans, we'll be able to deal with the pressure under their fans, and completely overestimated them. And, to smash a team 7-0 isn't something you see every day. Or 7-1, sorry. I wish it was 7-0. Thanks, Thomas Partey. But, it's not something you see every day. And I was very happy with the team. But it makes us show that where were the goals against West Ham and Nottingham Forest? Nottingham Forest are a tough team, don't get me wrong, but this is a really poor West Ham side, and we were at home. So we have these goals in us. Yes, we don't have the best of our goal scorers available, 100%, completely agree with that one. But there are goals in this team. There are ways to find goals. Where were they in those two games beforehand? And I'm expecting there to be at least one or two of those goals come Sunday. So I was very happy with the team. It's just the question I always throw out: will there be consistency, and will we show the fight, the passion that we did yesterday on Sunday? That's the question. Or Tuesday even. On Sunday, that's the question.
Yeah, you know what? We're going to get onto that. But guys, do you think let's talk about the PSV game quickly before we move on to Man United, because I think the two topics are linked. But what are you saying, Ale African Gooner? How do you think we're going to do in the Man United game, and how surprised were you about the PSV result?
Yeah, guys, to be quite honest, from my side, I was quite hurt. And I was taking a little bit of space away from the club before the game. I was not thinking that we were going to be able to create or score anything. Really, I think going into the game, I was expecting a low-scoring game, 1-0, 2-0. Attacking-wise, PSV is really, really good. We know that. It's just defensively, they've been suspect, I would say. And obviously, they don't play a lot of the better or greater teams in the Dutch league like you do in the Premier League week in, week out. So maybe our assessment of them was just, overstated, as someone else mentioned, right? So for me, I think it was surprising to see that we were able to actually finish and be clinical. As Connor said, like, where are these goals? I disagree with Connor. I don't think it's about like consistency, because we showed consistency last season. We're the best scoring team. So we were able to be consistent last season, because you can't be the best scoring team unless you're consistent. For me, what the problem is that we don't have difference makers. We don't have that player that can, if it's not Saka or Nwaneri, that can just take three players out the game, dribble you, or get players to commit and come and try and get the ball from you, which opens up space to making that pass. And we don't have enough clinical finishers. So we've been really struggling to score goals, and no way in hell did I ever predict that we were going to score seven goals. Live in the game, I predicted 7-1 when we scored two goals in the first 5 minutes of the second half, and people were laughing at me. But once we had scored comfortably 3-5 goals, I knew this was going to be a high scoring game. But before the game, I thought 1-0. So for me, it's not about consistency. It's more the fact that they had they didn't play low block. We know we struggle against low block. We know that we try to create chances by either scoring from corners or set pieces. We don't go over the top. We don't play in behind. We play really, really slow. We play in, like, we let the other team kind of settle back. And PSV didn't do that. They were playing open football, which is how we've been seeing it in the Champions League this whole season. And we've been smashing teams. We smashed Sporting, right, in Lisbon, who destroyed Man City, by the way, let's not forget. So I think the Champions League has just been really good for us this season, this competition. I still don't think that we have enough, to be honest, to take it all the way. And I think before this PSV smashing, I was not very confident for United. Maybe like a 1-0 or 1-1. But now after this game, I'm predicting a 2-0 win against United, or even a 3-0. Much, much more confident than I was, obviously, beforehand, because the team is showing me that we know how to score goals apart from just scoring from a corner. As Connor mentioned, now we just got to be consistent like this. Like, Odegaard needs to be consistent. Like everyone needs to just keep this level for the rest of the season until Saka and Martinelli are back, and then we might have a chance in the Champions League.
You're on mute, Gal.
Yeah,
You're
we
mute.
can't hear you.
You're
Tony,
mute.
I was gonna say, Tony, you jump in also.
Yeah.
What do you think? You think we can keep up this form versus Man United? Now that we smashed PSV, do you think we can keep it up and going into the Man United game? You think we can do the same thing?
See, yeah, Igal, I'll just be very, very frank with you. Yeah, I mean, when you say form, that's a little bit, a big and a very, very tall ask when you say form. I mean, we've not.
Agreed.
I mean, we went at West Ham. I mean, that was a loss. Come on, man. At our ground, not good enough. Played against Nottingham Forest. We ought to win that game. We didn't win that game. The goals was nowhere to be found. I mean, you have to look. You have to look into perspectives. Before coming into how far the form will go, because you have to have a trail of games before you can be saying, what form did we have? What form are we coming from? Where are we coming from? You can't say we have the form in terms of scoring goals when we didn't even put a goal past West Ham. We've actually considered 47 goals, a whooping 47 goals in the league alone when we played them. So there's no form whatsoever going into all these matches. However, I did say we were going to bet PSV about 2-1, but I was so stunned at what happened. And again, Igal, I mean, this is football for you. You could see, this is why I've always criticized this manager since last year. I mean, release the handbrakes just a little bit. Igal, I mean, let's don't act as if you didn't see that free-flowing football against PSV. That's the kind of football we want to see. We want to see the handbrakes, that tactical approach by Mikel Arteta that's been suffocating the team. And it's even more harder when you don't even play with a striker. I mean, if we had a striker, just imagine if we had a striker on that PSV on a good day. PSV will be taking about 15 goals. It would be it would be the most annoying, the most disgraceful bit ever in the Champions League if we had a striker. But I mean, Igal, we didn't sign anyone. We didn't do business in January. We didn't help ourselves out there in the summer. And Igal, we just have to lay our beds, and lie on them right now, because we did no business. But to be very sincere with you, I was so shocked about that.
Let me stop you right there. Man City did business. They're out the Champions League. what do you call it? Tottenham done business. They just lost to friggin'. So sometimes it's not only about doing business. You have
No,
to
but
do the right
you
business.
can't compare.
No,
You can't compare like
the
that.
current English champions. They're the current English champions. I mean, they did a
Are they
4P.
still gonna do
Igal,
business
you
in
can't
April?
compare those situations.
I agree.
You
You can't
can't.
compare.
You
It's not
can't
apples.
compare those
It's not
situations,
apples
brother.
to
Connor,
apples.
does Connor at least agree with me?
No.
Sometimes it's not only about the signings. You have to get the signings correct.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
But
of course.
Igal, we know what we had to do in the summer. We know what positions we had to aim to get, and we didn't do that. And it's the truth.
That's true.
We actually, Connor, we weakened ourselves in the summer by getting rid of Fabio Vieira and Nketiah and ESR and not replacing them. And the biggest
100%.
frustration is that we knew, okay, let's say we made the mistakes we did in the summer, right? That's okay. I put my hands up, okay, we made mistakes. But now that you know you made the mistakes and you have January to make amends, then you get the injuries, and then you still don't do it, and you don't even get a loan. Ah, come on, man. That's where my frustration is.
It's more to the factor of, listen, do you know what? I won't put. So Fabio Vieira, I never liked anyway. I'm very happy we were blessed with Ethan Wanyeri to come in, because 10 times the player that Fabio Vieira is 17. But you got to look at it in the sense of, listen, I can never stop giving praise to our defense, because I love our defense. We're a left back away, put like a proper good left back away from having a proper solid back line. And then again, Lewis Skelly's coming into his own. Maybe Calafiori needs another season or two. I don't know, but do you know why it's that good? Because we've invested so much into it. If you look at the difference between the defense and the attack, it's always been the story with Arsenal. It's always been the attack's been good, especially in like the last decade or so, maybe the last 15 years.
Yeah, and the defense is bad.
The attack's good, the defense has been shit.
Yeah.
Now it's the opposite.
The attack's been bad, So that's the way you've got to look at it. And at the end of the day, would I say, would we be in a better position now in terms of league if we had a striker this season? I could, yeah, definitely. But even with the injuries, that goes back and forth. But you just have to look at it in a sense of this summer, we didn't do the business that we should have done. The only one that I really liked out of this window was Calafiori. And he hasn't hit the ground running that quickly, but you never know. Give him another season or two. He might maybe move him in a different position. Is he that great defensively? I don't know. In the Serie A, he was good, but the Premier League's a different kettle of fish. But I'm sorry, Mikel Merino, Raheem Sterling, and Roberto Neto, it's not good enough for your sixth window or seventh summer window. It's not good enough.
And Igal, please, just because I was cut off when I was talking, actually. Igal, but again, this is what I was telling you about releasing the handbrakes just a little bit, yeah. Do you know how many goal attempts we had in that PSV matchup?
No, can you
yeah, I mean, we had about 15 goal attempts, and they had all the ball possession. 53% of the ball possession was to PSV in that matchup away from home. So, I mean, yeah, when you just release the handbrakes tactically, just a little bit, maybe you might just see something different come from the team. I mean, the boys are a little bit overcoached. We're understaffed. We don't have a striker. Martin Odegaard's form has been stinky this season. But, I mean, just look at him. I mean, coming back from injury, he hasn't done a lot for the team. But looking at him in that game against PSV, you can see he can create. I'm not doubting Martin Odegaard's
ability,
passion, or what he has in his skill set. He's got it. He's got everything. But how about the consistency? I want to see him create that much, because this team was actually built around him, and he hasn't hit the ground running this season. I mean, you can argue about last season. Yeah, I see reasons why he helped us through, challenging for the title. But the numbers right now, the assist numbers are not enough. And when you're going for the title, you need those numbers just a little bit. Just a little bit. We had 8 shots on goal. But in the game against Newcastle, I mean, just check our entire record at Newcastle in the past 2 seasons. We only had 3 shots on goal. 3 shots on goal. But right here, away from home in the Champions League matchup, we have 8 shots on goal against PSV, whom many people, even Arsenal fans, said we were never actually gonna win this game. I mean, let's don't try. See, I'm a very balanced Arsenal fan. I'm a balanced Arsenal fan. Connor down there said, Connor didn't beat his chest and said we're gonna beat PSV. I mean, let's be very sincere. But I mean, we went down there and we did beat PSV, and I liked it. I just want to see that consistency from Odegaard.
The question now is, what are we expecting versus Man United? I'm looking at Man United and I'm saying, if they open up against us, we could batter them. But if they play super defensive, it could be difficult for us to score against them.
So for me, I think it's a 2-0 game. I don't think it matters whether they play defensively or attacking or what. United are just shit. I mean, and just plain and simple.
So we're gonna beat them.
You know, yeah, 100%, 2-0. I'm very confident going into this weekend. If we play the same team and with the confidence, and if we're able to take some of our chances, like Connor said, like our defense is the best in the world without a doubt. I mean, that's something that hasn't changed and really has kept us floating. Let's say, you know, this season, you know, because otherwise we haven't been able to create and score goals, which I agree with. You know, we're just too much on the hand. There's too much on the handbrake. We just gotta pull it. We gotta let players be creative, let them express themselves, and that's why Neri and MLS, by the way, we love them, and that's why they do so well in this team. It's because they're kids and they play with freedom, and that's what we want to be seeing in this team.
Exactly.
The rest of the team doesn't play with freedom, and that's where it goes back to the point that I was saying about, you know, we're saying like, okay, if we had a striker this season, you know, Connor said we'd finish better off in the league. Connor, forget the striker. Even if we had the better winger this season, and we had the Xhaka upgrade, that's from like 2-3 years ago, bro. Like
100%.
we would be so much better off. I think like what
Yeah.
you know, we're saying about Odegaard is fair. He's been terrible this season. But I also think that he's playing like a lot on the right hand side. We need another creator on the left side.
Yeah,
It's
no, I
simple.
agree.
Like we need someone that's going to be able to take the pressure off of him, and we need someone to rotate. In terms of what Connor was saying about Fabio Vieira, I also agree. I didn't rate him that well, but I want to be fair in my review of him because he was playing in the wrong position and he didn't get that much game time. Yes, I still don't think he was going to be that player that we were expecting, especially with the money that we spent in that position when we know that was a really important position for us, right? We only have Odegaard that can create and be our sole creator. So Fabio Vieira was supposed to be that other player that was going to compete for him. And the fact that we didn't rate him and we kind of just expelled him from the team, we loaned him out, I don't see him coming back, that means that you know you needed to fix that problem. And then you get rid of Smith Rowe
Yeah.
and you don't bring a replacement. Like there's so many mistakes on top of mistakes, you know, even though we've done well and, you know, we've made some really good signings, don't get me wrong. You know, when we're at the top of the food chain, you start picking at the nitty gritty details. And that's what we're doing as Arsenal fans right now, because 3 seasons we're competing for the league and we just haven't gotten across the line. So when you haven't, you start deeper and deeper into some of the things and the intricacies of the team. And this is all the mistakes that are compounding and got us to this situation now. And this is my frustration. This was supposed to be the season that we won everything. And people say, oh, no, it's not Arteta. Arteta didn't choose. Arteta's the one who didn't get an attacker. Arteta's the one who told Sesko, I can't give you guaranteed game time because, you know, Havertz is there. Arteta's the one who
Havertz
decided
is
to choose
there.
Calafiori, right, as a left back for 40 million when we had other priorities. So this is a mix of blame for everyone. Arteta, Edu, the board, Ato, like all of them have blame in this. Now, as an Arsenal fan that loves the club, this is my final point. There's nothing more for me to do but sit back, see what's going to happen for the rest of the season, wish that Martinelli and Saka come back and we kill the Champions League. And then now it's all on Arteta for this summer to buy a striker. If he doesn't buy a striker, doesn't buy the attacking players, this is the last season for me. Has to be.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a second. But also, did you guys see Henry's jealous of Arteta talk on Twitter?
Jealous? Did you just say jealous?
Oh, he got.
Yeah,
Oh, my brother.
I'm not the one that, guys, this is a discussion. We're having a discussion about what people are talking about. Henry said in this video, it's like 4 minutes long. He said that he's worried about Arsenal not creating many chances in recent games, asking how all the time in crucial moments we've been having players injured. And then he went on to say, why is Mo Salah not pulling his hamstring, but Bukayo Saka is? You have to ask these questions. That's what he was implying. And if you look at the comment section, the way people
why are you going to look at the comment section again?
the way
Yeah,
people
man.
are
The worst place to
No,
look.
he has to look
Yeah,
at the
that is
comment
the
section.
worst
He has to. He has to sample opinions, innit? He has to sample the opinions and
but
see
you
what
should,
people are
you should
saying.
also have your own opinion. Like, yeah, you sample opinion, but you should
Definitely.
also have your own opinion. And like, obviously, it's not jealousy. Like, Henry is
Not at
the
all.
goat, one of the goats of the club, and he speaks the truth. And a lot of the times, what he says is the truth. So, you know, he's just calling out the way he sees it, and you got to respect it. And he's right. I think part of it is luck. Obviously, like, you know, injuries has something to do with luck, but also with game management. You know, Saka's been overplayed for like 4 years, even in like FA Cup, League Cup games where he shouldn't even be playing because we're through. He's still playing. So, I mean, that's what Henry's calling out, is basically that we haven't managed the players well, and we didn't also get players and squad rotation and depth
Okay,
to
do
help
you
these
do you
players
also
take minutes off.
understand? Do you also understand that people say since Arsene Wenger left, Henry has been nothing but super critical of Arsenal, and you can barely count on one hand how many times he's praised the team.
Bro, he's a pundit. He has to give honest, like he has to give review. It's not like he's coming out of his way to talk about Arsenal. This is his job. He has to be fair and be a professional. So I don't really have much more to say on this.
Do you think he is more critical of Arsenal than he is?
Of course, he loves the club. Why wouldn't he be?
It's his club. Look at Jamie Carragher compared to other teams. You know, he's just as
Jamie Carragher is deluded when it comes to his club.
But again, you've got to look into the factor of look at what this guy's done at Arsenal and the time he was at. It is chalk and cheese compared to now. What we were doing with Henry at the club, what the club was like compared to now, it is completely different. So he looks at Arsenal in the way of how Arsenal should have been, how Arsenal was back when he was playing, when we won all those amazing things, we had all those amazing moments, to what we are now, to being very mediocre in terms of trophies. You know, when Henry was he was one of many fantastic players he played alongside. And the fact that he's got to watch very good players now at the club, there's been a long time where it's been a lot of crap players, but we've actually accumulated a lot of good players now at the club, and we're still droughting. I'm very, very happy that he's come out and said something, because there are a lot of people out there, and especially ex-Arsenal legends, who I do think are actually taken back and maybe sometimes not even allowed to say much about Arsenal, Arteta. So I'm very happy that he has come out and said something, because he's saying what a lot of fans are actually thinking. Not every fan, of course, but what a lot of fans are thinking. And I do have to completely agree with Henry here, and I've got to respect it. And I'm quite glad that, listen, I'm not a really big fan of Arsenal pundits. I think some of them can be a bit hit and miss. I'm not a fan of Martin Keown whatsoever. I feel like he's massively under the books at Arsenal. He never criticises Arsenal. It's very much, oh, everything's perfect. You know, Mikel this, Mikel that. Don't criticise the manager for today. Don't criticise the players for today. Fair play to Henry. And I'm not just saying this to fair play to Henry because he's agreeing with what I'm saying, but I think it's just that, not even just Arsenal, I think a lot of pundits nowadays, especially ones who are talking about their club, can be very held back. I really do think that, especially if they're legends as well. So I've got to pick up Thierry for saying what he said. And yeah, he's keeping the standards, as Anthony said in the comments. He's keeping the standards, and he's just showing what he was seeing back when he was playing. You know, this is what we should be doing now. We're the third biggest club in the country, partly because of him and what he'd done with all those amazing players. You know, so it's complete chalk and cheese with what we're doing now compared to what we were doing back then, and I've got to respect it.
Igal. See, to be very sincere with you, this man you just said is jealous about Mikel Arteta. I mean, come on now.
Right, 1 second.
This guy's won the Champions League. He's won. I mean, this guy gave us our Gold Cup.
It's not my.
This guy gave us our Gold Cup. I mean, that guy has a statue outside the stadium. Brother Igal.
It's not my words.
You should put.
I know, but the nomenclature there was. I'm not saying it's you. I'm just saying the nomenclature, the phrase you used there,
exactly,
was Mikel Arteta. It's just, brother, come on, man, don't do this. This brother has a statue right there at the stadium, jealous of Mikel Arteta. Igal, we don't have to. Come on, man, don't do it.
Go on, read it.
No, it's just the way you positioned it. You should have asked the question.
This is a tweet from someone I know on Twitter. Thierry Henry doesn't love Arsenal anymore
Can you show the tweet?
Than Arsene Wenger. Yet Arsene Wenger was never analyzed or criticized the same way Arsenal and Arteta are consistently. Wenger was there for the last 20 years of his life. Henry never left one thing where it was going down the hill.
He's our most prolific manager.
He wasn't a pundit then.
He was our most prolific manager. He coached Henry. It had to come from an emotive standpoint.
Guys, it's a fair point. Henry never criticized Arsenal when Arsene Wenger was in charge. For 20 years, he was in charge. Things were going down the hill. Henry's a fan. Never actually called it out when Wenger was there. The moment Wenger leaves, Unai Emery's there. We hear a couple words. But since Arteta's been in charge, there has been a lot of positive, but I only hear Henry speak about the negative.
So I want to say, don't bite the hand that feeds you. Not that it feeds him anymore, but obviously there's so much respect there. Why would Henry ever talk about Wenger or Arsenal in that way when it gave him the platform to be? No, it doesn't have to be bad. He doesn't have to go out of his way.
Just point out the obvious inconsistencies in the team. He doesn't do that. Even when Arsene Wenger was here for
Dude,
20
he wasn't
years.
in the same role. What are you talking about? He wasn't in the same role. He wasn't a pundit
Bro,
having to
one
talk about
second.
the club
I
in the
am
same way.
one second. Don't get. I'm being devil's advocate here. I
No,
think
you're not.
Henry's entitled
You're
to.
not. Dude, Gal, you gotta frame these things as questions because the way you're framing it is you're saying it's your opinion
No, no,
and
no.
you're
It is
talking to
not
three
my.
other
It
people.
is. It is
Okay.
not my
No, no, he
opinion.
mentioned it's not his opinion.
It is
He
not my
actually said
opinion.
that. But I
So
mean,
you have
you
to
One
you,
consider
second.
the
you as
question.
Igar don't even have to say that. You don't
Exactly.
have
Yeah,
to
exactly.
position it like that.
Let me make this clear for everyone watching this right now. Henry is just entitled to his opinion as much as anybody else is. The thing that people are criticizing him about is because they find he is more critical of the club than he is positive about the club. And I only thing that I agree with is I do hear more negative coming from Henry and more opinion pieces about negatives than actual things where he's like, you know what, this is positive, that is positive.
When's the other times that he's criticised?
I never see him painting things in a positive light.
This is a mute point,
And I only
honestly.
see him
But
criticizing.
I got what is I mean, brother Igal, I mean, you just said positives again. And again, that's relative to what positive really means. I mean, people could say positivity means okay, dragging us from 8th, 5th, and taking us to
Second.
a title second. Don't confuse it with improvement. There's some other fans that actually do think that positives actually means winning trophies, lifting trophies, getting
hear that.
trophies ahead of your rival. I
Rivals.
mean, we've just seen a Man City side. We used to be black and blue, gold, bro, trophy laden years
Tony,
past.
everyone
Brother,
agrees.
I mean, what's there to be positive about?
Everyone agrees Henry's a legend of our club.
He was a striker. We didn't bring in a striker.
He is entitled to his position,
Exactly.
his opinion.
He's a striker. We didn't bring in a striker. What's positive about it?
But as an Arsenal fan, I do find at times he's constantly fueling the negatives and never building up the positives. And he's on a show where he has watched us the whole season in the Champions League, where we were looking really decent, and he's doing a Champions League review show. Going into the game, there was a lot of negatives. I understand that, but I don't see him bigging us up when we're doing well. I only really see him tearing us down when we're doing bad. And
That's such a lie. That's such a lie, bro.
And maybe that's
such a
just
lie.
media.
Again, listen. I personally myself, I haven't seen any other clips of Henry slating Arsenal. You can show me by all means, right? But I want to talk to you about Martin Keown, another legend of Arsenal, who's on TNT Sport all the time for Arsenal's European games. He was on TNT Sport for the game against Nottingham Forest, where we couldn't even score a goal. It took Nuno, not even an ex-Arsenal pundit, to come out and tell Martin Keown, an ex-Arsenal legend,
But the problem was we didn't have a striker.
We're the ones that we didn't have a striker. Martin Keown didn't want to say that. So it's all well and good that Henry maybe doesn't agree with everything that is fueling negativity. Well, then I can say the same thing about Martin Keown fueling positivity. It works both ways, Agal. It is what it is.
One second.
I can also pull out references that Henri has said positive things about the club, bro. It goes both ways, as Connor said. Like, there's both good and bad. We're just singling out the bad because that's just what happened right now.
And it probably doesn't help that he is one of the biggest players ever to play for the club. That people probably think, yeah, he is fueling negativity, But then again, Martin Keown was probably not as big as obviously what Henri done, but he was one of the most legendary.
Also, there's no evidence. There's no evidence that he's jealous of Arteta or he doesn't like Arteta.
Of course, why would there be any jealousy anyway?
That is ridiculous, but he has been extremely critical of Arteta.
Igal, don't forget he praised the team. He praised the team after that 7-1 bashing. See, we have to be see, that's why I'm a very balanced person. I don't believe everything is entirely good and everything is entirely bad. I'm in the middle.
Agree.
There's nothing wrong in being in the middle, and that's the problem we have in our fan base. People can call out something, and you look at them like, oh, okay, that's fair criticism. I mean, you can't say, oh, the Arsenal team did well against PSV. You'll be castigated. You can't say, oh, we haven't won trophies. We need trophies. You would be slagged off everywhere online. So, I mean, it's the fan base. It's the age we're in.
I need to call out what Connor said. Connor, how is it a bad thing that we have somebody who actually is positive from a media perspective?
Then why is it a bad thing for someone to call out negativity in Henri?
Exactly. It goes both ways.
Exactly.
Goes both ways.
I don't think. 1 second. I think majority of Arsenal pundits are negative.
Yeah,
Well,
but
who
because there's
else?
nothing to be positive about, which is what we just told you. Like, what is there to be positive about? We
Especially
haven't
this
improved
season,
this
Gal. There's
season,
what it really
bro.
is there to be positive about.
Yeah, we were supposed to win this
It's not.
You could be
season.
positive about Ethan Winery. You could be positive about
Oh,
Miles
come
Lewis
on,
Kelly.
Yeah,
Gal.
You could be
sure.
positive
Those are
about some of
small
the
just
wins.
picking it.
Small wins. That's not what we're looking for here, bro. We're trying to win the biggest honors
Gal,
in the
you can't
world.
deny, Gal, what Henri wasn't lying. If he was lying, I'd be like, right, fair enough.
No,
What
no,
he
no. I
said was pretty
actually
much
one
accurate.
second. Once again, this is a debate. We're having a conversation.
Of course,
You
man.
guys
Yeah,
all seem to be
100%.
on one side, so I'm being devil's advocate and I'm giving you the other side of the story. This is why people are finding this whole Henri debate interesting. Now, I'm not taking it to the level where Arsenal fans are saying Henri doesn't care about Arsenal. He's being negative for clicks or anything like that. No, I do think he has no malicious intent and he's genuinely giving his opinion based from him being a supporter and a fan of the club. He said it numerous times. I'm going to take the man for his words. But right now, as an Arsenal fan, Ian Wright, for example, I've seen him give negatives and positives recently. I've seen Emmanuel Petit constantly give negatives, but I've also seen him give positives. Henri, he's been on CBS Sports for the majority of the season, and I've not seen too many clips of him saying this team has been amazing, this team has
Why?
been great.
Why?
So, Gal, if he was positive about the club, what does that change?
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna
Does
say,
that
why
make
is
us
this
win? Does
important?
that make us win anything?
Doesn't
At the end
change
of the day,
anything.
Doesn't change
realistically,
anything.
realistically, as a fan, Henri is like me, like you, Gal, like Tony, like Laf Kanguna. He's like everyone. Everyone's got an opinion on the club. The only reason is why he's a bit more bigger is because one, he's on a massive show in CBS, and he was an ex-Arsenal player. But he is like every other fan who's got an opinion, like everyone else. It's just, unfortunately, from your side of Gal, he's saying something that you don't agree with. I don't agree with what Martin Keown says about the club. But I don't go out and say, oh, he's jealous of, there's jealousy there or anything like that. It's just an opinion at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And yes, it's come from an ex-legend who is one of our biggest players of all time.
All right, guys, let's move on because I got another topic that's super, super interesting. Our trophies on when it comes to player discussions, are trophies overrated? Because Scott Carson has 11 trophies and played 108 minutes.
Scott Carson, bro. Don't pretend like you even know who that is.
No,
Come
no.
on.
This is why I bring this to the topic. Surely Scott Carson has 11 top league trophies. That doesn't make him a better player than Harry Kane, who has 0.
Dude,
No,
what are you
not at
talking
all.
about?
Why
I'm not
is
even
this in
gonna
the
respond to
conversation?
this. Oh my god.
No, because people weight trophies so heavily.
Wait, Gal, please don't tell me you think Scott Carson's better than Harry Kane.
No. I'm just saying, surely trophies have to have some impact in getting those trophies. For
100%.
example, Phil Foden has how many league titles, right? Let's be honest. Majority of those league titles he picked up earlier in his career, he was not a major impact in those league titles. But they
Who
still go on his resume.
cares? Come on, man.
They
That's
still
so
go on his
unfair.
resume.
That's unfair.
One second. They still go on his resume. And at the end of his career, it's going to show he has X amount of league titles, but really and truly, he probably contributed to maybe 3 out of the 4 that he has, or you have a goal.
He's been a part of all. I mean, actually, tell you, he's been a part of because Liverpool won it that season. He really started kicking off. Dare I say, even in the 18-19 season, he had 26 starts. Season after 38, season after 50. So going from 20 to 21 to last season alone, which is where they've won it back after back after back.
These are really topics.
Let me just rephrase the question. Do you guys understand where I'm coming from? I'm saying trophies.
Don't use Phil Foden. Use Scott Carson, who's played literally 2 games for the club, but he was part of the squad. Martin Odegaard, for example, I think he's part of the winners for the Champions League. He was barely even in the squad. I don't think he was even there for the final, but he was part of the squad for like one of the games. That debate can be used for players like Scott Carson, who's played like 2 games for the club that's on the list. If you're basing it on Phil Foden, that's a completely different situation. He's a player that regularly plays for the club, who's contributed to the club massively. Yes, I don't highly rate Phil Foden. You could even say Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish doesn't contribute a lot, but he's still there. Scott Carson,
he helped them to the Champions League,
a 40-year-old man. No, he was like 38, 40-year-old man who was a third-choice goalkeeper. Let's not take the mick here. It's a completely different scenario in my opinion.
All right, you know what?
But again, Grealish came in. Grealish scored some setting goals for them.
Yes, exactly.
Grealish scored some setting goals. He came off the bench and scored some setting goals for Man City. So he's part and parcel of those titles he won anyway. But anyway,
exactly. I don't know.
What do I know?
How does this?
My main point is Scott Carson has 11 trophies, barely played. This is why sometimes when people make trophy debates between players, it really depends on how good your team is. You can be a great player, but if your team is not that good, you're never going to get that trophies to signify that you're that much better than your opponents that you're having these debates with. For example, Steven Gerrard, he does not have a Premier League title. Doesn't mean he's not one of the best Premier League players of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he has one. That's not the best.
It highly debates on the player. You can't just like pick a player, throw him in, and just say because he's not the massive. Like it's
exactly,
especially with Scott Carson. Scott Carson, listen, fair enough, mate. If you want to keep counting those trophies, but in all due respect, you had nothing to do with any of them. But
all right,
but
you know what?
Wait. Not only that, Egal, you could probably find so many of examples like Scott Carson. Like that's in any sport, in any facet of life. There's always going to be examples. Of
there's always going to be people like that.
Yeah,
and there's always going to be people like that. Yeah.
All right, guys,
for instance, Egal. For instance, now, let's say, I mean, I might be delusional. Let's say maybe Arsenal go on to win the Champions League. Guys, don't slag me off in the charts. I mean, I might be a delusional person, but I mean, what if Arsenal goes to the final, wins that final in the Champions League? What would be the conversation about Oyedeji on the bench? I mean, Mikel Arteta's hardly used it. I mean, he hasn't even come off the bench to actually even have maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Egal, what will you say? I mean, I just want to ask you that question.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I've switched off on this topic. I feel like you guys are right. There's no point having a discussion.
You know what, Gal, you do this when you can't win a conversation.
No. There's so much we have to discuss, Connor.
All right,
I have a checklist of so many things.
Fair enough, bro.
The next thing is the ticket prices. Guys, did you guys see Arsenal have raised the ticket prices and they've changed the ticket process slightly? So
do you know how much? What's the percentage? Come on, let's test you. Wait, don't check it. Don't check it. Don't check it.
There's a 3%. There's a 3% for the upper tier, and there's 5% for the lower tier for the season tickets.
Okay.
Am I surprised? Right? No.
3.7% is what the number is.
They're expensive anyway.
The upper tier is 3%. The lower tier is 5%.
Sure. And we're the only club that's doing it. Other clubs are not doing it. They're keeping theirs the same.
Some clubs are keeping it the same. Some clubs are raising it. I think Arsenal raising the ticket prices, in order for them to justify continuously raising ticket prices, they need to start showing the same level of investment off the pitch.
100%.
100%.
The same level of investment on the pitch that they're trying to do, they're trying to make the fans do. Because if they're going to raise the ticket prices by 3 and 5% off the back of raising it last year, what was it, 4 and 6% for the same upper and lower tiers last year? So you've raised the ticket prices back-to-back years, and you've still not won anything. And they showed as little investment as they shown this past summer. It is actually an embarrassment.
Egal, do you know what it is?
Out there and go.
Egal, at the end of the day, it's the harsh truth. But top 6 clubs, and you can even say clubs who are regular in the Premier League every season, not all of them, but some of them. It's a business now. It is a business side of things, and they're going to have to up it. Stock markets are going up, prices are going up everywhere. It's just a thing. I mean, to be honest with you, in my personal opinion, I'm from London. I can go to games if I want to, if I get a ticket, but I'm not, because I can't afford to pay for the tickets. I can't. It was ridiculous anyway as it was, and it's now going to be even more ridiculous now. The only games I can go to as an Arsenal fan from London was pre-season games and the Emirates Cup. That was the only ones I could go to, because that's the only ones because they're like £20 a ticket. Compared to a league game against Southampton would be like 180 quid. And it's just like, it's ridiculous. So, at the end of the day, I can speak for Arsenal. Arsenal majority is just a business. And, the Kroenkes just want, I guess, as much money as they can drain out of it.
But also, Connor, naturally, business and progression, everything is going to go up.
Prices of course,
this
is
life,
the future,
right? So it's just the way life works.
But then again, I'm surprised that we're even talking about this a business. I mean, so many clubs do business. I mean, it is literally a business. Yeah, we don't even have to bring that conversation about business in the football club. It has to be there. You have to do business. But the thing there is that let's look at Man City doing business. Their shirt sales are up. They're doing good business in terms of sales of players. that they
Yeah.
sold out of the club, out of the football club. They're getting
Like Alvarez.
match day revenue. I mean, everything is increasing. But again, you're also seeing the reinvestment into
Yeah,
the football
absolutely.
club.
But you know what?
Throw that all away. Maybe that doesn't mean anything. Let's look at
It
Liverpool.
means
Corner,
means
they do
something.
business too. But I mean, and we do know that. I mean, the FSG. I mean, we know that they're very, very penny pinching kind of board in it. But again, throw that all away. We can see the reinvestment into the football club. We can see them actually trying to win titles at the end of the day. So, why are they not actually even increasing the ticket pricing? Because I mean, the fans can laugh and say, "Okay, you know what? Yeah, we're about to beat Arsenal for the title. I'll renew my, my ticket for the next season because we just did Arsenal dirty this season, and next season, I mean, we can win it all." They actually, yeah, when they see the business and how everything is going, there is that enthusiasm. They should be excited. But again, look at Arsenal. What should we be excited about? Yeah. Again, the revenue, the business revenue in terms of gate takings, it's up on Arsenal. Yeah, record revenue in gate takings. Record in bro,
Match
Egal. Let's don't act as if you're not seeing the merch being distributed in the Arsenal
that's
football.
the
I mean,
veins.
come on, man. Let's don't talk about the vain nature of how we're actually churning out. I mean, the vase. Egal, come on, man. The vase, the
$500
jackets,
vase.
everything. I mean, it's become a vibe. It become a vibe football club, and other football clubs are actually doing business, and we're doing business, and we're not seeing the reinvestment into the football club. See, Igal, you know what? Yeah, Igal, I saw you on transfer deadline day. Igal, I did see you on transfer deadline day. Yeah, I saw. See, yeah, negate the general outlook, how people look at you. Yeah, I knew you wanted a striker. I saw in your eyes that you needed a striker. And I saw the disappointment in your face that we didn't bring in a striker. Contrary to everyone's views that maybe Igal doesn't want us to have a striker, he has said it, that he needs a striker. He believes that will be better with a striker. But we didn't get a striker. No, that's the problem. We're doing businesses. We're bumping up our ticket prices. We're releasing merch in geometric progression.
Connor,
And
what did I walk into?
we're not seeing anything. We're not seeing any of the doings.
Prices,
My Niger brother here, Niger Englishman, will say, "Show me the doings. Show me." Oh my God. Show me the doings. We're not seeing it, brother, at all.
Yeah, my last point on that is like, look, you know, in the January transfer window, I didn't have to see the club go spend 40, 60 million. The thing is, sure, if the player is not there, I just am disappointed that the club is not creative enough. We have to be creative enough to find other solutions. It doesn't always have to be spending the 40 or the 60 million on Watkins. Sure, if we didn't want to pay that extra 20 million, go get Vlahovic on loan, Rashford on loan, Muani on loan, Morata on loan. All these players would have made us better. Asensio on loan. All these players would have made us better. And that is my biggest frustration. It's not that we had to go spend the money. It's that we had to at least try to make ourselves and give ourselves a better chance when we still had three, four trophies to go for this season, bro.
Our fan base turned their nose up at Asensio. Imagine the audacity.
Crazy, man.
They
Crazy. And we don't even have wingers. We don't even have a striker. We're playing with Marino up front. And you know what, bro? For me, that's just stubbornness from the manager. And just like, it's also on the owners not being ambitious enough. Because look, if I'm the owner and I'm seeing the manager say, hey, no, I'm pulling Trump, bro. I'm pulling Trump, and I'm just making that loan signing myself, saying, hey, do with this what you can, but we need this. Because that's how I see it as an owner. And so that's why I think it's a blame on multiple parts. But it's obviously Arteta who said he didn't want to sign these players because he just didn't want anybody, and that's a frustration. So, bro, it's not about the fact that we had to reinvest the money, because of course, yeah, we do. And look at how we signed Declan Rice. We spent 100 million, and look at how all the money that we spent now, and look at where the team is now. And we always wanted that 10 years ago, 15 years ago. We always asked for the best players. This is always what we were asking for. Now we just got to get over the line, and we're just one or two players away, and we're just a striker away, and we're just too stubborn to get it. I don't know why. We're just like literally shooting ourselves in the foot. Hopefully, Martinelli, Saka come back, and then we take Madrid on head on, and then we have a chance. If we can play like we are against PSV, and we can keep it in the game, we can nick it a 1-0 goal. So yeah, guys, enjoy the United game.
I'm sorry. After the season, it's not just one player away. Let's be very sincere. We are not just one player away. We need a backup for David Raya. Trossard hasn't signed a new deal in this football club. Trossard hasn't signed a new deal in this football club. We do need a striker. That's number 3. We do need someone to help out Martin Odegaard in the middle of the park. We can. I mean, we've proven. It's proven already that he needs a backup. Yeah, how about that?
Nigel, you're on mute. Do your
What
welcome.
did you
Nigel, you're on mute.
Tony's so angry, bro. Why'd you get him so angry, man? He's worked up, bro.
No.
This is all about ticket prices. This is all about ticket prices.
No, I mean,
This is ticket prices.
I've heard lots of ridiculous stuff, man. I mean,
you not even greeted me. Hello. I'll find out.
Let's turn up your volume, bro. Let's turn up your volume.
Big ups, man. Big ups, man. Big ups, man.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're better.
Yeah, good.
You're okay.
Nah, what did I walk in on? I just walked on Tony just doing a madness. Like, he's losing it, bro. Oh, yeah,
we're basically talking about the Kroenkes raising ticket prices and Mendham went off.
Okay.
Ticket prices, bro. Ticket prices. It's a business, bro. It is what it is. Yeah.
Our ticket prices have been a joke since we entered the Emirates. It is what it is.
Facts,
bro. So, what are we gonna do about
It is what it is. We move.
Sure. I'm not gonna tell you how much I paid.
All right, let's get on to the next thing. The next thing is Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid. What are you guys saying?
I know who you want, Ego. You guys combined 11.
I want Atletico Madrid.
Why do you want Real? Whoa. We were combined 11 last season ago. What's going on?
No. The reason why I want Atletico Madrid, that combined 11 is going to go triple platinum again. I don't need that.
Nah, but to be fair, we're the only unbeaten side against Real Madrid, man. So why not?
No, but
I want Atletico Madrid
have less game changers. Atletico Madrid have less game changers and less like.
You don't have to explain yourself to us. We're all on I think we're all on the same page with the Atletico thing, right? Everyone's on the same page.
No. I'm not on the same page. I'm not on the same page.
You prefer
I want Madrid. Yeah, I want Madrid. I want Madrid. And you know what? Yeah, see, Igal, see, yeah, you have to look at this perspective.
Explain. Go on.
But yeah, let me explain this. Yeah, let me explain this. Igal, look at what we have right now. Look at what we have right now. We don't have a striker when Atletico would decide to actually be more physical with us, and we have to actually find that goal scoring opportunity and just score. They don't just leave they're not just a team that just are ill-disciplined when they're defending. They defend properly. Atletico defend properly. They're a very physical side. They will strain that Arsenal first 11. We will try to look for openings and we won't see one. They're physical in nature. And if there's anything to go by in the Premiership, teams that have been a little bit more physical with us have actually gotten ahead of us. Look at West Ham. Just block your post, sit back, be physical over Arsenal midfielders, and there's no chances to score goals. But with Real Madrid, we're not the royalty. Definitely, when you have that kind of first 11, you'll fancy your chances against Arsenal. You will come out. You will actually want to play that tiki-taka kind of football. And that's what I'm looking at, because I'm looking at these teams in the Premiership coming to defend against us, and they're getting points over us. But the teams that actually decide to actually come face us, man for man, 11 for 11. We kind of like spot spaces, and Martin Odegaard could at least maybe unlock certain defenses, unlock certain pocket spaces, and get something going for us. Look at that Man City. Man City thought that they could step up to us, open up those space, tap, boom, we get the goals. PSV thought that they could actually come and play tiki-taka with us. Let's don't act as if they didn't come out. Yeah, they came out. They had 12 goal opportunities, goal attempts in that game against PSV. What does that mean? They came out to play. When they come out to play, they have no clue what hits them. We're faster in our transitions. We're faster in our counter-attacks. And that's all without a striker per se. So I want Real Madrid. They're going to come out. We're going to find spaces, and let's see what happens.
Let me hear from the rest of the boys. Connor, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Madrid, Atletico Madrid.
I can't swear. No, I can't swear. It's your channel. I think we're screwed.
Go ahead. Say whatever you want to say.
I think we're screwed either way. Listen, I know, I like to think we're going to try our best, but bro, Atleti, one of the best defense. Listen, we've got a great defense, but they've been defending like crazy this season. I wouldn't put down Griezmann or Soloff, especially on set pieces. Like especially with Soloff, he's tall as anything. It's Atleti. Can I be honest? I don't know why, but Atleti seem like more of the harder side. And I'm saying that about I'm writing off the ex or current European champions, but it's just like Simeone ball against Arteta. I think he's going to I don't think he's going to hammer us. I think it'd be more of a case of get in, get out, get the result, move on to the semi-final. Simeone, but I don't know how we'd manage to take on either of them. I'm sorry, fellas. I don't know. It's like picking, where will my coffin end up being? Because I'm gonna die eventually at some point. A bit drastic, but I am like.
Hey, calm it down, lads. You get me? Just calm it down. Let me bring some reason to this, man. Oh yeah, now my people, your dark skin man from the motherland. If you didn't know before tonight, you got to understand. And look, Tony's either got the best dealer on road, or he might be on to something. There's only one or two. There's no middle ground. I've got the best new dealer on road, or he's on to something, because he hit some interesting points there. Because to be fair, those points have kind of opened my mind to a way of thinking. But if we're just going from who would I rather play, it'll be Atletico. Not because I think they're necessarily easier. I think we owe them one. And I go back, we owe them one. Wenger's last season, we should have got Wenger that Europa. We should have got Wenger that Europa League to send them off. I still haven't forgiven them for that. And Atletico, we owe them one, innit? Like, I'm not saying that we're gonna get past any of the Madrid sides, but if there was one that I wanted, it would be Atletico. To be fair, who knows?
I just feel like Atletico is so physical. They're very physical. We don't have enough to deal with their physicality.
Bro, you do realize Madrid this season have been a lot more attacking.
We do have enough.
We do?
Look at the defensive.
Are you sure?
Are
you sure? Teams that have actually been physical with us this season, we've actually dropped points against them. Everton, we've dropped points against Everton. I mean, they're not firing on all cylinders, but I mean, they have physical players. We've dropped points against them.
It wasn't because of their physicality, though. Because of
they shut down Odegaard. They shut down Odegaard. Odegaard doesn't like any bit of any physicality whatsoever.
I think
he doesn't operate naturally in those spaces. He operates naturally with a team that wants to play football, free flowing football.
I hear you. Tony, let me land. Relax. I said Atletico and Everton are two different kettles of fish. Playing the Champions League. Team in the Champions League, playing a team in the Premier League are two different things as well. As physical as Atletico are, I don't think they're going to go Sean Dyche style physical, to be honest. So I believe that the thing is, if we score first against Atletico Madrid, I can see us seeing that one out more than if we score first against Real Madrid. That's what I don't think there's going to be a lot of in the game against us and Atletico. I don't think there'll be a lot of goals in both ties, so I think we can nick that one easier than the Real Madrid scenario. That's what I see, because in the Madrid side, I see a lot of goals of them from wherever, at whatever needs to happen, from the bench, from the pitch. There's a couple of stories in there. Who knows? Danny Ceballos, we dissed him when he was leaving Arsenal, might come back to. There's so many different things. Madrid, we're unbeaten against Madrid in the Champions League. Like all these little stories, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get in the mix of that. I'd rather take on Simeone firstly, man. There's too much history with that.
Did my man say thank God he's injured?
I was joking, nigga. I was joking.
Gonna say
like it makes much of a difference, bro. It's like this game.
Do you know what? This is what we shouldn't do. But hey, you man, stop thinking about Madrid. We're still got the second leg in PSV. Don't force them.
Oh my God!
Oh God, Niger Englishman, come on! Don't do this. Don't do this. No, Niger Englishman, come on. Come on, and you're not even a negative. You're not even a negative Arsenal fan. Come on, man. Don't do this. I'm surprised about this, man. Did you just utter those words? You're not even a negative Arsenal fan, and you just said that.
We've still got the second leg to play, bro. You're talking about like
it's done. It's done, Niger Englishman. It's done.
Whether it's done or not, we're talking about a tie that's not even been created yet, and we've not even got past our tie.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what the score
we're playing
is,
Madrid.
bro.
We're
It
playing
doesn't matter
Madrid.
what we're playing. A Madrid, yeah, we're playing a Madrid. We don't know
Madrid,
which Madrid, innit? So let's not focus on that. Why are we? Look, why are you forcing why are you forcing what the rival fans are saying to take you to the Madrid game?
We're through.
Okay, so we're not playing next week. We're not playing next week.
We are playing next week. Do you know what we're playing?
Okay,
hopefully we're playing.
Okay, let's go for the eye test. Let's go for the eye test. Let's go for the eye test. See, Niger Englishman. Do you think PSV is gonna come?
Got it right. We got United on Sunday. We got PSV next. You're not talking about a tie that's not even been created yet.
No, Niger. Let's go for the eye test.
Connor, Tony,
to be fair,
you've been pressured. You've been pressured by all the rival fans to focus on the next game. That's what you've done.
To be fair,
do you think PSV can come to our home and score 6 goals, Niger? Let's just put it through the test. It's simple. Do you think PSV can come and score 6 goals?
Did you think we were going to score 7 goals at PSV?
No, scratch that. It doesn't matter. We won. No, scratch that. We won. We won. Do you think PSV can come down to the Emirates and score 6 goals? Is that possible?
I didn't think Arsenal could score 7 goals at PSV. So what do I know? Innit?
All right, Nigel. 1 second. By the way, we already spoke about the Man United game. I'm going to give my score prediction on the match preview. Tony, what's your score prediction for the Man United game? Just score prediction.
Egal. We're going to smash Manchester United.
Score prediction.
We're going to smash them up, yeah? I'm going 4-1 against Manchester United. 4-1 at Old Trafford. 4-1. They can defend set pieces. They're A14th. It's a horrible Manchester United team. The most horrible I've seen in 65 years. So come on, man. They're going to lose 4-1. 4-1.
He's already been clipped.
Relax.
It's too late.
Connor, go ahead.
Listen, we've never scored 4 at Old Trafford ever. I don't think in the history of us playing there. You know, so I'm not. Listen, they are bad. They are shit. However, it is Manchester United, and I've got a level of respect for that fixture. No respect to anyone's prediction. I've got a level of respect. I think we're going to win, but it just makes me laugh. We bagged 5 against the current champions, then we played like a bunch of idiots against Newcastle and got absolutely hammered. Not saying we're going to do that against Manchester United. It's 2 different teams. Newcastle are 10 times better than Manchester United. To be humble, I'm going to say a boring 1-0. I just think hopefully we just go in there, get the job done, walk out. I like to think the players will still be on the form of Tuesday, but I'm keeping it simple. 1-0, get in there, walk out, just do your thing. If we even draw, in my opinion, the league's over.
Get out, right?
Well, anyway, but we'll see. Hopefully we win. I'm gonna go for a 1-0, maybe a 2. I might change, but 1-0 for now.
1-0 for now. What are you saying, Kunle?
Your predictions, Connor. I mean, you said all that stuff and you didn't give your prediction. What's your prediction for the game?
1-0.
Okay.
1-0.
Kunle.
Wait, can you not hear me? My screen is
yeah, we can hear you, Kunle. We can hear you.
Oh, he's gone again.
Oh, he's gone.
Guys,
in the comment section, let me know your score predictions for the Man United game. Personally,
wait, can you not hear me? Yeah,
we can hear you. We just can't.
We can hear you.
Can you see me?
We can see you now. We can see you now, brother.
Cool. My score prediction is 2-1 to Arsenal, man. 2-1.
No, fair.
2-1. Okay.
Fair. All right.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go with. I'll tell you when I do my match preview with Kaz. Don't worry. For now, I'll wait. Let's go to the next topic. Which one should we discuss first? Thomas Partey, the director of football, or Martinelli being sold? Which one do you guys want to discuss first?
Martinelli being sold, please. Thank you.
All right.
I was gonna say the board. I don't get. Honestly, hit me with anything you go. I'll talk about anything.
All right. So we'll talk about Martinelli. 35 million for Martinelli to Barcelona. Who says yes? I say no.
No, not for that price anyway.
Yeah, I say no just because of the price, not because I don't want him sold.
You want him sold for how much?
60.
I agree.
I think 60 is reasonable, but understand he has a lot of scope to grow. He's very young. If Garnacho's going for 60,
we've been through that, Gal. We've kind of done.
If Garnacho's going 1 second, if Garnacho is going for 50 million pounds and they're rejecting it, and you have Matoma being offered, Saudi clubs offering 70 million for Matoma, How much money do you think a Saudi club will offer for Martinelli in the summer?
Oh, well, but that's different. We're talking Saudi here. We don't know what they offer 120. We know.
We rejected a bid from Saudi for Martinelli and Trossard.
But Martinelli as well. Swear down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, look, if we're going to talk European, because like if we're talking Saudi, we all know Saudi teams give anything. Like they can give up 200. You know, if we're going to talk European, which is obviously what the link is with Barcelona, I think, you know, we can't deny his value has gone down. You know, ever since his injury and really since he's come back, he's not really been the same player. I think Kunle's spot on. I think 60 million is a fair number for his age. I think he could do a really good job in Spain. I think he could fit in there very well. Would I be hesitant to sell Martinelli at the moment? No, but only if we get a replacement. I'm sick of us selling players and not getting anyone back in to replace them. So I would only do it if we were to get a fit and correct replacement in, whoever it may be. We're linked to a million. I'm actually sick of looking at Twitter and saying Arsenal linked, Arsenal close to, Arsenal feeling the thought of the signing. You know, it's just like, you know, if we get the proper replacement in, I don't see a problem with it. But for me, I agree with Kunle, 60 million.
Call me deluded. Saudi club comes in for 90 million, 80 million. We take it in a heartbeat. But
of course.
But in the case that we don't get anything, but in the case we don't get anything close to,
but is that his value though? Is that his value though?
No,
is that his value though?
Honestly, at this point, you're buying the young potential. Because he's still very...
Not the young potential who is scoring goals, but the young potential. I mean, there's a whole lot of young potentials there who could score goals.
Brother, I don't think you realize that guy is still 23 years old. He still has a lot of improving to do. He can still go to another level. For example, look at Mo Salah right now. What was Mo Salah doing at 23?
Do not tell me you're calling Martinelli Mohamed Salah.
No, I'm just saying.
He likes to break the boundaries, innit?
You're missing my point. My point is players' development is not always linear.
Okay, no, that's fair enough.
Moments in their career where things just happen and they go bang. Imagine he goes to Barcelona and he dethrones Rafinha, the current Ballon d'Or candidates.
I mean, to be fair, actually, according to FOTMob, his current market value is actually 66 million. So maybe you are devaluing him, but you just can't deny that with the injuries, with the fact that he has downplayed in this season, last season compared to the seasons before. You know, I think I can't say why you couldn't say 60 isn't a fair amount, especially, you know, that would be our highest ever sold player. Like Arsenal are known for not even being able to sell players. You know, so you know the fact that would be our highest. I mean, Oxlade-Chamberlain is still our highest sold player. We got rid of him in 2018, 2019. Like,
but Martinelli's work ethic is also a thing. When you have that crazy work ethic and drive, you can improve at a ridiculous rate.
But again, that's why I said if the right offer came in, I'd say yes. If it was a poor offer like 30 or 40, I'd say no. But again,
I think we devalue our players always. Look at Nuno. Nuno is one of the faces of Serie A.
How much do you want for Martinelli? 100?
Nuno Tavares is one of the faces of Serie A right now. What the fuck?
Again, how much are you looking for?
Definitely not one of the faces of Serie A. That's not.
Bro, he's the face of Lazio.
Again, how much do you want Barcelona?
Yeah, but again, you have to put into context that he just. But again, you have to put into context, Igal, that he came directly from Portugal. He came directly from Portugal and came to England. Yeah, so you can't just say he's the face of Italian football.
Bro,
you can't say he's the face of Italian football without putting into perspective that he just came directly from Portugal and came down to Arsenal. He flopped at English football. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. He flopped at English football. He flopped at Nottingham Forest. It wasn't good enough.
Tony, I think he's a wing back. If we used him as a wing back, he would be amazing.
I do agree.
He's not a wing. We don't play that system.
Definitely wouldn't be amazing.
Anyways, moving on. Before we go on to the next topic, I just want to touch on this one more time. Personally, I don't want to sell Martinelli. I want to keep him. I want to go and get another left winger, have the depth of Martinelli, a new left winger, and also still sign a striker. Because I think if we lose Trossard and Martinelli, plus Raheem Sterling's already leaving, plus Jesus is injured, I don't think we're going to bring in enough players of quality.
That makes sense. That makes it.
So I don't want to lose goals.
I hear that side of it.
Igal, if you said the context, if you made, I thought you were just saying as a player himself, if we were to sell it. If that was the situation and we're selling Trossard as well, no. You've got to keep one. I'd obviously rather keep Martinelli. He's younger. He's fresher. You know, he'll be better on the pitch. He'll last longer in games than probably Trossard will. I love Trossard personally. He's one of my favourite players in the club. I think he's pretty much there when you actually need him. He's not obviously reliable as, say, like when Diogo Jota always used to come on for like Firmino or something. But he's that player that can come on and do a job. But if he doesn't sign that contract extension, which in a sense I'm kind of hoping he doesn't, because I want to get a younger, fresher face in now. I think it's time to maybe cut ties. I don't know. But no, if that's the scenario where both go, then yeah, no, I'm not selling.
All right, guys, quick fire. Next, Bukayo Saka, Martinelli come back. Do we actually have a chance to win the Champions League?
No.
Quick no.
Who did you say comes back?
Saka,
Martinelli and Saka.
And I want to address everyone about this. Why do people keep adding Martinelli to the I'm back part? Saka's back. Saka's back. Bro. Let's keep it a buck. Like Martinelli.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Martinelli right now is a miss.
Martinelli's been around in the season and he weren't doing nothing, bro. So I don't understand why they're like,
Martinelli was on pace to get double-digit goals in the Premier League, bro.
Egal, look at the team we had last season. Egal,
we was on pace to get double-digit goals in the Premier League.
Egal, we had Saka last season.
Brother,
what was the difference?
Martin Ellis from Romford ain't it, bro.
Egal,
ain't it, bro.
Egal, we had Saka last season. We could barely beat Porto, and we couldn't beat Bayern Munich. What's going to change? Like, come on.
All right. Next.
Egal.
We've always got a chance. We've always got a chance.
I've not said anything. I've not said anything about it. Egal. I do think we have a fighting chance. This guy didn't even give you a fighting chance. I do think we have a fighting chance. Yeah, I do think so. I do think so. See, yeah, I'm not gassing up this PSV win. But I mean, if we can be able to beat a team like PSV, I mean, yeah, 7-1 without a striker, and then we do get Bukayo Saka back. We do get Martinelli back. That's good ammunition to have going into any big team. We're gonna make any of the Madrid team. It gives us something. It gives us an option out there. It gives us one of our best players that has always carried us season out in Bukayo Saka. Would it be the same? I don't know, but it offers us something different. How about that? It gives us a fighting chance.
Are you saying book the flight to Munich?
Not yet. Let's get past Madrid first. Let's get past Madrid first.
Gal, what's your viewpoint?
We got a chance. We do have a chance. Everyone has a chance.
I'm scratching my back right now.
You couldn't, I've got a 1% chance in landing Margot Robbie tomorrow. Don't mean it's going to happen. Like, what are we doing here?
That's not the same scenario with Arsenal. We got more than 1%.
Zero. She just had a baby with her partner. No chance.
You never know. People move mad nowadays, isn't it?
Hey, you know what? Maybe you could. Anyways, let's. I think you could do better. How about that?
Yeah, probably.
There you go. She's getting old, but let's talk about Real Madrid. Real Madrid, second leg, we have no chance unless we slap them at home. If we go to the Bernabeu second leg in the Champions League with who we currently have to our disposal.
Wait, is the Bernabeu the second leg? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
do you realize we play Bernabeu second leg, and whoever we play in the next round, we play second leg away again, and then Champions League, and then we're in the final.
If we get to that next stage, I'm not going to care who we play. If we get past Madrid, I'm not going to care who the fuck we play. Let's be honest.
But again, guys, we've gone away from home and beaten teams that have had a good records at home. PSV was never beaten in Eindhoven throughout the season. And we went there and beat them 7-1. Sporting Lisbon was never beaten in that stadium. Sporting Lisbon was never beaten in this stadium, and we went there and we did a number on them. So I mean, you just have to keep the lines open, guys. How about that? Keep the lines open.
Let's just walk before we run. I beg.
Is anybody booking flights anywhere? No.
Nope.
But we don't have to see. Let's don't have a defeatist mentality before we go face Madrid. That's what I'm saying.
There's one more topic. Would you guys keep Thomas Partey for one more year? His representatives want to stay for one more year. They want to keep him. But obviously, the club are not. They're reluctant because of what's going on. In case you don't know, there's been protests at the stadium against Thomas Partey because of the alleged links of him being...
I don't know. Was it? Listen, it's always been this. Can I be honest? I wish they just release a name. I know they can't, but I wish they did, because it's always the Premier League player in their 30s. If it's Thomas Partey, I feel like just let it be. Like just say the name. If it's not, but bypass that. The question I was going to ask.
Because the Thomas Partey can then take legal action against the newspaper.
What I was going to ask, again, what I was going to ask, I didn't see them protesting against him. I saw them protesting against arpists as a whole. I didn't see it against him. But I don't know if that was the case.
It is directed at the rumors around Thomas Partey.
Okay, fair enough then. Fair enough.
It is the club have been informed by the Arsenal supporters trust that they are disgusted that the club is backing a player that allegedly could be going through an incident like this, and thinks that the club have higher values than these and should be distancing themselves from any incidents relating to these kind of things.
Listen, if that's the case, I mean, I just wish they just release a name. If it's him, then I would be all at the club saying, why is he even playing?
I think Thomas Partey is a divisive figure at the club. You have a big Thomas Partey fan base who is huge at going against anything that's negative about him, to the point where they will criticize Declan Rice to big up Partey. And I think that is anti-Arsenal. Like, you're literally player FC with Thomas Partey exists. And I don't like that part of the whole Arsenal fan base, where you can't criticize Thomas Partey. If you do, you're criticizing our best player. You need to have some respect. I don't think Thomas Partey is our best player, and I don't think Thomas Partey has ever been
our best
player
this season, though.
He's our best midfielder this season.
I think that's debatable. He has cost us massively in games.
Who's it debatable with?
If it wasn't for Declan Rice's injury,
Declan Rice,
who's it debatable with?
He's been injured, that's the thing ago.
If it wasn't for Declan Rice's red card, we'd all be saying Declan Rice is having a better season.
It's 50-50. It doesn't help that he's been injured ago. If he wasn't injured, then I would say him, but you've got to look at it logistically.
I think Thomas Partey
it's Partey, but there's no
the
debate.
writing's on the wall. He's going to be leaving the club.
I think but listen, away from the court thing, which is, if it's a major factor, then fair enough. I'm not going to talk about something which is alleged. Doesn't make sense to me. I'm more talking about.
But again, I have a different perspective to that. You guys. It's finished. It's finished.
Tony, let Connor finish, and then you can.
Okay. I thought you finished.
Like away from that, talking about football, I think as much as he has been our best midfielder this season, it's another thing like with Trossard. You know, he's getting on now. You know, I don't think he was the player we expected him to be. When we got him. You know, I don't think, especially when he first came in. You know, remember that Tottenham game, fucking shoving him back on the pitch. You know, like he was getting injured. Definitely wasn't the player we expected him to be. He's been good, but not what we expected. And I think again, it's that situation. I think we need to get a younger, fresher face in. If the Zubimendi links are true, for me, that's Thomas Partey. I'm sorry, brother. I have to go. I want Zubimendi. You know, so that's my piece. Tony, you go for it, bro.
Yeah, thanks, man. See, people, I have a different perspective looking at this thing. Yeah, I mean, if a certain part of the fan base have written to Arsenal about this case, then it could turn into something different. I mean, I want to turn you guys to the case with Mendy and Manchester City. That's why there's a thing called not guilty. I mean, not guilty until proven when you're guilty, right? So you're not guilty yet. And he's not guilty yet. This could turn into another court battle. And you can see Mendy, he won his case in the courts, in the British courts, yeah? And when he won those cases, yeah, now he's not suing Manchester City. Where is my money? Where is my funds? And no club wants to be put into those kind of situations. Maybe Arsenal is not just ready to get into that legal squabble with Thomas Partey. He does have a contract with Arsenal right now, but they can choose to maybe release him in the summer. Then he's not contracted to Arsenal no more. Then we understand that. But again, for right now, let them leave him. Let's see what he can do from now to the end of the season. And you know, if he's not guilty yet, I don't see why we should be, I mean, putting him in that picture that he's guilty already. I mean, he's not guilty yet. So the court should find him guilty. Then we know where he stands. I still want him in terms of squad depth. I still think we need squad depth in our team. I don't think it's just good enough to just throw him away just like that. We need squad depth. When you're bringing in a player like Zubimendi, you didn't need someone who would kind of like, who he can feed off from, maybe from the bench, something like that.
I don't want Zubimendi. Give me Bruno Guimaraes.
That's a no. I 100% agree with that one. 100%. We should have got
If
him
Man
before he went.
City-
But again, that's a tall ask.
Why are you guys?
Newcastle wouldn't allow you to
No,
do that.
because-
Guimaraes
one second,
and Isak
because
are not coming to Arsenal.
If Arsenal are going to have conversations about Isak with Newcastle, go into those conversations with Isak.
Isak and Guimaraes are not coming.
No. But hear me out. If you go into the conversation with Newcastle about Isak and you cannot get Isak, at least leave with something. Go and get me Bruno G.
We've got a better chance of leaving.
I hear you. But Newcastle wouldn't be strengthening a direct rival for next season's Champions League places.
They're
I don't
going to
think
send
so.
him to Man City. If we don't get him, Man City's going to get him.
But again, Man City have Man City have negotiation power than Arsenal.
Why do we think Premier League clubs are not going to do it?
Hold on.
We just got second race in West Ham.
The issue definitely ain't no rival thing. It's because we're not going to
money.
It's like we're not going to spend the money needed for them. They're going to ask 200 or 150. We're not going to spend 150 plus million.
We had the money last summer.
But we're not going to spend it. Igal, that's the thing. We're not going to spend it. Igal, you know this.
Assuming we won't spend it.
Bro, you reckon we're spending 200 million on Isak?
Igal, you wanted a striker. You wanted a striker in the last window, and you couldn't get one.
You want 150 million for fucking Guimaraes as well, bro. We ain't paying that.
I mean, it's clear.
If these guys are serious, they go and instead of getting non-Premier League proven Zubimendi, you go and splash the cash and you get Bruno G.
I hear you. I like the player.
You want one player,
but we have to be realistic, innit?
Bro, if
you want one player instead of 4, then no problem.
Sorry, man.
My theory is if Jorginho and Partey are
leaving, about to cough up some rubbish.
If Jorginho and Partey are leaving, which they are, Jorginho and Partey are leaving, which they are, Arsenal cannot wait for the midfield players to get acclimatized to the league. We need some level.
100% agree.
We need some level of know-how and consistency. If you're going to come into this Arsenal team and we're going to push on, we cannot expect a striker who's first time in the Premier League, a left winger who's first time in the Premier League, 2 midfielders who first time in the Premier League, 4 players first time in the Premier League, stepping into it, taking this team to the next level. Are we signing £100 million signings all across the team? No,
but
to expect us to go into the next window, make 4 signings, all of them be foreign players, and all of them adjust right away for us to go win the league is never going to happen, bro.
Miguel, the 2 signings we made last summer were both from away from the country. So what makes you think we're going to do it this summer? You know,
Arsenal have to do business with English clubs.
Because Arsenal last year made a net profit of 10 million. They did not actually spend anything.
So the whole point for last summer was to get a good net spend and then spend it this summer. Gal, that sounds like bullshit to me. I'm sorry.
No,
come on.
I'm thinking they're looking at what they did last year and they're saying, you know what? We didn't spend much money last year. We actually made the most money we ever made in our club's history. Let's go and splash the cash. Let's get this team over the line. So this
the money hasn't really been the problem.
Let me make it financially make sense for you guys. You're looking to spend 150 on Isak. That's not realistic. What you're going to do is you're going to go to Newcastle, start talking to them about Isak. And if Isak is unattainable for the 120 million, you leave with Bruno G for around 90 million to 100. And then the remaining money, you go get Nico Williams, and then you go and spend an additional 60 on the striker Sesko. So altogether, for 210 million pounds, you now have a left winger in Nico Williams. You have a striker in Sesko.
You have literally just said you don't want players from away from the league to come in and take that time.
No, I don't want too many players signed this summer where we're banking on them that are all foreign.
But again, do you really trust them to do this business? Because this sounds like dream scenario business.
It's not dream scenario. We need a striker. We need a left winger.
we don't get
With
Sesko.
two
I really hope
midfielders
so,
leaving, we need a quality midfielder coming in.
We do, but
Egal, when was see, guys. I mean, you guys have been, bickering about the financial aspect of the whole thing. You guys aren't talking about the reality on the table. When was the last time Arsenal did good business with an English football club to bring in a player to Arsenal? Please, just name me one,
Declan
a
Rice.
world-class player. Look, when? Who?
Declan Rice.
Come on, man. You know that's a different ball game entirely. Yeah.
What's the difference?
Okay, which other one? Which other business? Which other one?
Okay, so you agree with Declan Rice, yes or no?
No, but which other one? Which other one have we done?
Do you agree with Declan Rice?
But do you agree that it's only Declan Rice that was brought from an English club, for a long time?
Did we not get Jesus?
See, the truth about this thing there is that Newcastle is not just gonna give us Bruno Guimaraes. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna hamstring us. We couldn't even do a deal for Ivan Toney. He had to go down to Saudi Arabia. We couldn't even do a deal for Ole Watkins, Aston Villa, and we're supposed to have tests going into negotiations with Newcastle for Bruno Guimaraes. Come on, let's have sense here.
Newcastle are not getting top 4. Newcastle are not getting Champions League football. Newcastle are in trouble with their injury crisis to end the season. Going into next season, if they don't get Champions League football, you guys don't see them selling one of their.
But they will be in Europe though. They'll get European money though.
They might not even be in Europe. They might not. They have.
I think they'll qualify for Europe though.
Isak's injured. Botman's injured.
All right.
Lewis Hall's injured. They have
I hear what you're saying.
The guy Anthony Gordon's on a red card. There's no guarantee they get European football.
But what's it called? Newcastle are in a position where they don't need to sell, my brother. They do.
Why?
They do. If they don't get Champions League football, they're going to need to sell.
Why?
Based on what? Based on your feelings or based on
profit and sustainability, bro?
Nah, G.
Oh, come on, Gal.
Nah. They're in a very comfortable financial position right now. They're very comfortable. They have inflows. Merchandise sales is going on quite well. The revenue looks good. Gate takings are looking great. I mean, they've made more money. They've made more revenue in terms of income. I mean, Igal, I know you're a financial guy. I mean, with your job and whatnot. Newcastle is in a very, very comfortable position, materially, financially. They don't have to sell. Niger Englishman has made that clear. They don't have to strengthen Arsenal. They don't have to strengthen Arsenal.
Fair enough. Anything you guys want to talk about before we go?
Nothing else in my mind.
We touched on everything. Oh,
I mean,
everything.
Kimmich told Arsenal to run up. He told Arsenal to run up.
To put a bid in.
What?
What, he said to put a bid in for him?
No, he said get out of here. He said I'm not keen on coming to Arsenal.
Well, look at that. Like this is where we're at. You comment about Henry. Henry was, he's onto something.
And also, good news. Real Madrid have turned their interest away from Saliba and are now looking at Konate. They're also looking at Morello at Nottingham Forest. They're looking at the guy at Bournemouth. So Arsenal basically are for once telling a big club like Real Madrid, get your hands off our player. We don't want him to. We don't want to sell him.
He doesn't push for it, but he's
not going this summer. I'm not worried about any big player going this summer.
Well, yeah, he's got to hope and pray
this summer.
Bro, don't be too confident, man. Don't be too confident, man. If we don't win any trophies at the end of the season, something can still happen,
you're worse
man.
than Henry. You're always negative.
I'm not negative. No, I'm actually a balanced guy. Everyone here said that they don't give Arsenal a chance in winning the Champions League. Igal, I was there for you. I mean, I was there for you, Igal. Come on, man. All these guys, they all turned against you. I was there for you. Come on, man.
Tony, the only person that says Arsenal don't have a chance was Connor. What are you talking about?
Exactly, man.
Guys,
I've not been negative. I've been balanced, man.
We're gonna end it here. Have yourself a wonderful day. Big up everyone in the comment section. Do yourself a favor. Please remember to have yourself a calm, chill day before Arsenal play, because you never know what you're going to get. Some days you're going to get 7-1. The next day you're going to get a 0-0 draw that's getting your head in. So we play Sunday, right? So Saturday, relax. Don't stress yourself out. come join us. Me, Kaz, we're gonna have a conversation tomorrow. I'm gonna be with the boys. We're gonna do a weekend preview. And Connor, big up for another great video.
Well, I was just going to say, Gal, quickly. They apparently, from what I've just read from Sky Sports in Germany, Kimmich has verbally agreed a contract extension until 2029. So
yeah, that's why he told Arsenal to run up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry.
He told everyone to F off, not just Arsenal.
Igal, please, I'm sorry. Rukas in the charts, please. I know Connor. He's not bending for anyone. He's not bending his ass for anyone. Please don't do that.
Why do you read that?
Let's be respectful in the chat. I mean, people.
Tony, why are you reading that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
bro. At the end of the
day,
in this YouTube game, bro. The fact that he's a mod as well is kind of mad. But you don't listen to that shit because, brother, you're hiding behind a little text thing there, not showing your face. Come on here, have your say. If you think
let's end it here. Have a good one, guys. Peace out.
Big up, guys. Love.
Peace.
Take care.